the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today I'm your host. I'm getting you ready for WrestleMania Night 2, because you already did Night 1 already. If you already missed the Night 1 preview, stop. Just watch that one after this one. But if you're watching this during the day of WrestleMania, oh my God, we're getting you ready, because here's some of the things we're going to talk about today. What happens when John Cena gives up hustle, loyalty, and respect to chase the last shot at history? What if Rhea and Bianca Belair cancel each other out and IYO Sky just steals the biggest win of her career? And AJ Styles. What if he isn't just back, but better than ever? WrestleMania 41 Night 2 has drama, history, chaos, and I'm breaking down 4 matches that could define the future of WWE. This podcast here is fully interactive. It's live when you usually catch it. It's live. We've been going crazy with the time because of real life stuff, but we're here. I meet my commitment to you, so feel free to interact in the chat, whether you're watching this live or if you're watching this later on, because I read all the messages and I respond to them personally. There's also a poll up. I want to know, does it matter to you that WrestleMania is later this year? Simple. I just give you salt and pepper, yes or no. Does it matter that WrestleMania is later in the calendar? Because that's something I've been seeing online. But let's take a look at IYO Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. So what I'm going to do is when you're done watching this later on, you're going to be able to look at the timeline, because I'm setting up timeline in there, and I want you to look at the themes. When you're watching WrestleMania, just come back and just look at the themes, because what I want you to do is to have the story in mind, because what I'm doing is I'm building the excitement for WrestleMania, because look, a lot of people are saying that they're not excited for WrestleMania, but look, I'm just going crazy right now, because the more I talk about WrestleMania, I'm into it, because look, like, it's only hours amongst us. So here's the storyline for Rhea, Bianca, and IYO. So Rhea Ripley, she reclaimed her title from Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair, she earned her shot by winning the Elimination Chamber. But then IYO cashed in, and then it was Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and pretty much what happened was that Rhea Ripley felt that she should have still been in there. Look, man, she needs to get out. You know, like, Rhea Ripley, you missed your chance. The boat already passed you, but they had a tag team match. And obviously, look, man, you can't put 3 people in the ring who don't like each other in the ring talking about, oh, I'm going to let Bianca Belair be the referee for that match. Like, yo, are we crazy? Like, where did we ever think that was going to work? But you know what? That happened, and it was chaos. And that chaos led to triple threat and unfinished business well across the board. The thing that makes me crazy about this whole thing, like, they just keep sunning. Like, I'm from the Bronx. So, like, when you sun somebody, it's like, yo, you my son, get out of here. So what they keep doing is that they keep sunning IYO Sky. Whenever Bianca and Rhea want to get in it, whenever the big girls want to get in it, what happens is that IYO Sky gets mushed to the side like she ain't nothing. But you know what? This might be her moment. All right, so here are the themes that I want you to look at. Hey, we got Ace in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. It's WrestleMania weekend. Feel the excitement. We've waited all year for this. I don't watch the Super Bowl. Actually, I do. I just go for the food. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I'm not built on this because, like, whatever. But, like, WrestleMania weekend, I just get so excited for WrestleMania weekend, because other than hanging out with my kid and going to try a new place to eat or sitting here with you guys, there's nothing that really excites me more about pro wrestling. All right. So here are the themes. You got 3 alpha athletes, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and IYO Sky, and they've all got something to prove, right? Bianca Belair, she's proven that she still belongs in the main event picture. Rhea Ripley, she's trying to prove that, you know what, she is the top dog. She is the creme de la creme in the WWE, and all IYO Sky is trying to prove is like, you know what, I might be small, but you know what, I'm just tough. Maybe she got that little bit of that Rey Mysterio energy going on over there. But the main that you look at, you got the redemption, dominance, and legitimacy. Those are the things that you're looking at. So can Bianca Belair finally redeem herself on the grand stage? Let me tell you, the thing that Bianca Belair has been tied up into in the last year is Jade Cargill. I did a whole entire episode talking about, actually, I think I did 2 or 3 episodes talking about who attacked Jade Cargill, and I still don't think, even though that we know it is Naomi, I still don't think, I don't believe that Bianca Belair is scot-free in this whole entire thing. And I think that this is going to play into it just a little bit. I got a hot take for you. Hot take, okay? Everybody listen to the hot take. The hot take is, ooh, I'm getting the goosebumps. That's how much I love wrestling. Bianca Belair is turning heel. Like I said, I still got my eye on her. Maybe she didn't attack Jade Cargill, but let's be honest. Let me tell you how I see this story going down. And this is me being crazy. And sometimes I tell people when I'm talking to them on the phone, and I'm talking to you guys like we're on FaceTime right now, and I'm just being crazy because I'm excited. Listen, here is the story. So I could see that match finishing, win, lose, or draw. Let's say that Bianca Belair wins, and Jade Cargill comes out there like, oh my God, girl, I'm so happy that you win. Boom. Jade Cargill gets knocked on Bianca Belair and then just walks away. That's it. Doesn't have to say anything. And then when we come to SmackDown, it's like, what happened? And Bianca Belair is going to say, you know what? I wanted to attack you, Jade Cargill. I didn't like you. I saw what you did in another company, and I saw how much of a threat that you were. I wanted to keep you close to me just so I can see what you were about. But you know what? I wanted to attack you, but my girl Naomi beat me to it. I don't need you. I never needed you. I'm the top person here in the women's division in the WWE. That's the story. That's the story that I see. Everybody sometimes thinks that I'm crazy and the things that don't make sense, but what I'm telling you is that I said this wrong on the last episode, and I'm going to say it right now. WWE is no longer in the business of giving us what is predictable. They want to give us things that, because you've been so conditioned to believe that when you see a sign that says stop, right, that when you get to the end of the street that you're going to have to stop. But what they're doing is that they're pulling the rug from underneath us, and that when we get to the point, it's not happening because they're curving left. Everybody is saying, all the big time wrestlers are saying, oh, nobody saw that John Cena was going to turn heel. I seen it. The reason why I seen it is because I said, you know what if? And when I presented that what if online, people were saying to me, it'll never happen because John Cena, he's a babyface and he's retiring. Let me tell you, the things that we thought that matter, it doesn't matter anymore. The landscape of pro wrestling is changing, and it's all because of the WWE. IYO Sky has to prove in this match that she's much more than a transitional champion. I'll be honest. IYO Sky, she doesn't really do it for me. She doesn't make me excited. But you know what? Maybe this may be the match that makes me be excited, because you know, what if she walks out there as the champion? You want my predictions? Stay locked in, because I'm going to give you my predictions for the match that we're talking about all today. But maybe IYO Sky, if she wins, she can get a little bit of credit. Right? And look, think about it like this in regular sports terms. Or like, how about this? David and Goliath. Everybody's seen David and Goliath. Or how about the Lion King? So, you know, Tristan Law, some retired pro wrestler. I'm your host. When I teach people pro wrestling, there's always a story that goes into pro wrestling, right? The shine, heat, the comeback, and finish. That is the cookie cutter story for every pro wrestling story, for every pro wrestling match. Yes and then no. Because once you understand the formula, you can manipulate it to work for your favor, all right? Taught you a little bit of something inside wrestling. And every single story follows shine, heat, comeback, and finish, right? So what happens is that in The Lion King, the movie, you saw Simba as like a punk. But when Simba finally came back and beat the guy that his father couldn't beat, it made Simba seem so much more legitimate. So what if IYO Sky, she beats not only Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley in the ring, it makes her look a little bit more legitimate now. Because what has she been doing? Running around with Damage Control for the last year and a half? Nobody really cares about Damage Control. I know I didn't. I'm glad that they still have a job, but that's something I can see happening. But now Rhea Ripley. Is Rhea Ripley still the most dominant woman in the WWE? Look, some of us have talked about Charlotte Flair. We say that Charlotte Flair, she's head and shoulders above everybody else. But what about Rhea Ripley? Look, Charlotte Flair is only 1 year younger than me, right? Charlotte Flair, if she's not already 39, she's going to be 39 this year, and this year I'll be 40. Big 4-0. That's where I'll be at this year, right? So, like, how much longer can Charlotte Flair wrestle? Maybe Charlotte Flair wants to have a family, right? Maybe that's something that she wants to do. I don't know. But you know what? Maybe she doesn't have that much more time in front of her. But you know what? Rhea Ripley wants to prove that she's the most dominant woman in this match. And if you're not excited for this entire match, based on what, okay, look, I ain't gonna lie. As the kids say, I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna cap. I'm not excited about this match. Not gonna lie. But as I talk to you about it, and I go through the whole entire story and all the possibilities, you know what? I'm like, let me push my seat back so I can illustrate this. I'm gonna be sitting, let me make sure the chair don't flip over, on the edge of my seat, watching that match, because I'm like, you know what? Based on everything I talked about, let's see what happens. But you know what? Who walks out with the gold? I want Bianca Belair to walk out with the gold. Just why? Let me tell you why. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, they can go away. Bianca Belair, let her get the belt. Let her tell the story that I just said. And because everybody wanted to see Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill fight each other, right? And my whole thing as well is that because you want something, it's like dealing with a kid, right? I got a 2-year-old, right? 2.5-year-old, right? And one of the things that, almost 2.5. And one of the things that I always say is like, yo, bro, whatever you want, you just can't get it right now. And it's like a lot of us wrestling fans, we're just like kids. I want Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill to fight. So if they fought months ago in the ring, what would be the story now? Why blow your load so quick? Come on, man. Let's just relax a little bit, pump our brakes, and see what we get. We got some messages in the chat. A says, no, man, Charlotte Flair will pack Rhea up. Yeah, look, man. I think that Charlotte Flair will take Rhea Ripley and fold her up into an envelope and put her in her mailbox and send her to Abu Dhabi or someplace like that, right? That's the reason why I don't think that Charlotte Flair eventually picked Rhea Ripley, because she know what she could do, and they're 1-1 at WrestleMania. Good comment. Ace also says that Bianca will also pack up Rhea. Man, let me tell you, I've seen Bianca Belair, and we've all seen her pick up 2 people for the kiss of death, the KOD, and drop them. Look, man, I ain't never seen Rhea Ripley did anything like that. I seen Bianca Belair do something like that. Thank you so much for your comments. We still have the poll going on. Does it bother you that WrestleMania is later this year? Yes or no? Go ahead, vote. So does this headline night 2? No. We already know what's headlining night 2. I never thought that this was going to headline night 2. The way I thought that it was going to be was Jey Uso and Gunther headline night 1, and then John Cena and Cody Rhodes headline night 2. And everybody was like, oh, but you know, one of the women should have headline. Yeah, I agree. Maybe they should headline. But you know what? You got to choose your biggest stories. Choose your biggest stories, and that is what should headline WrestleMania. We can't just pick a match because it makes us feel good. Like, okay, when Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Ronda Rousey main evented WrestleMania 35, 3-5 in MetLife Stadium, that worked, right? Because at the time, that was the biggest story going into WrestleMania. But you know, I think the biggest story right now, look, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk wasn't the biggest story. But over the past couple weeks, once they did the whole entire favor thing that's floating around, they made that match the biggest story. But this is just one little fight. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip the script now. We're going to talk about a grudge match that's gone viral. I think it's going to get very, very real. And the match that I'm talking about is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Look, a lot of people might crucify me for talking about this match, saying, oh, well, Logan Paul doesn't belong in pro wrestling. Look, you know what? We are not the ones that sign the checks. We're the ones that fulfill. We're the ones that fill up the bank account so that they can pay those checks. And I think that as a pro wrestler, I think that Logan Paul has proven himself. Logan Paul isn't like a person that came in and done a one-off match and disappeared and we never seen him again. Logan Paul is still there. Logan Paul is over. And in pro wrestling terms, when somebody's over, that means that they're popular or that they've made it, right? So Logan Paul was over in the YouTube spectrum. I did a whole entire episode about, you know, does WWE even care if you hate Logan Paul? Go ahead and watch that after this. Don't go nowhere. And Logan Paul, in my opinion, if I was in the back room, the locker room with Logan Paul, I'm like, yeah, bro, you're over. Because he's come through and he's wrestled a style that he doesn't have to. Logan Paul could come in and wrestle a safe style, collect the paycheck, go home, and that'll be it. But he didn't do that. He's jumping off the top rope and doing all these other crazy things and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Like, it has to be worth its weight in gold. But looking at the match itself, the storyline build, AJ returns from injury, and him and Logan Paul just meet each other face to face. Logan Paul fires with viral jabs, and then you know what? There's a little podcast appearance gone wrong. If you ask me, I think that this whole match here is just personal. It's personal. It feels personal. Right, you got AJ Styles, a guy that had to claw his way to the WWE. Now he has to deal with the mouth of a guy who just made himself popular on YouTube. AJ Styles was wrestling for WCW in 2001, right before they closed. He could have went to WWE, but he didn't. He went to TNA because his wife wanted to be a teacher or something like that. And then he had to leave TNA and go to Japan, wrestle on the indies just to get to the WWE. And what did Logan Paul have to do? Post a couple videos on YouTube? This one is personal. I would feel slighted if I was AJ Styles because you don't belong here, Logan Paul. Now look, as I said before, sometimes I'm jumping out of the storylines and I'm telling you from my perception as a wrestler, but now I'm telling you as a fan, right? We're looking at the storyline, the way the storyline presents itself. Logan Paul doesn't belong. Logan Paul has no right to be in the ring and standing toe-to-toe with somebody like AJ Styles. But I think that those two in the ring, they're going to have a great match. Because what you're going to have, the theme in that match is you're going to get the flash. The story in that match, you're going to get the flash from Logan Paul. Logan Paul is what we would call a couple years ago a spot monkey. Logan Paul's not a wrestler. He's a spot monkey. That's what he is. But you know what? Logan Paul has learned in the WWE way how to put together the spot monkeyism in order to tell a good story. So that means that Logan Paul, he's way ahead of a lot of the people that you see in other companies, including the indies, who just go out there and tell the spots. Because one of the things that I always say when I train new wrestlers is that, look, I'm even telling you guys right now, I could train anybody right now to do a move. I can train to put on a decent headlock. I could train to take a decent bump, and I could teach you how to body slam somebody and how to take a body slam. But when it comes to putting those together, to telling a good story, not everybody can do it. It's like baking a cake. And these are the things that I say when I'm talking to people, when I'm teaching them pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is baking a cake. I gave you the formula in the beginning, and if you're just joining us, it's shine, heat, comeback, finish. That is the basic formula to every pro wrestling match. Once you understand how to make the basic pro wrestling match, which I refer to as a sugar cookie, flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, right? All that stuff. Once you figure out how to make the basic cookie, the basic wrestling match, you can now expand upon that. Maybe we'll add chocolate chips. Maybe, you know what, this time we'll add a false finish. Maybe instead of leading with the heat, with the shine, we'll start with the heat because these two people got a little bit of animosity. That's something that could be done in the pro wrestling. You got that fundamentals from AJ Styles. AJ Styles knows how to wrestle. He knows how to wrestle. And AJ Styles has the fundamentals because he's built up his resume. He's wrestled for WCW in the end. Okay, let's not give him that. He wrestled for the WWE. He's wrestled for NWA, not the new version of NWA, but the old version of NWA. And AJ Styles has also wrestled in Japan. So if you ask me, AJ Styles is a much better wrestler than Logan Paul. So that is what you're going to be getting in the match. The Battle of Flash versus Fundamentals. You're going to see ego versus experience. That is what you're going to be getting between Logan Paul and AJ Styles. And if that, look, I'm not going to lie. I said, you know what? I don't want to talk about this match today in the podcast because all the community, the community of the Tristan Law Show don't want to talk about AJ Styles and Logan Paul because we don't care about that. But you know what? When I looked at all the matches from night 2, I said, you know what? This match might be a sleeper. This match could honestly be match of the night. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. If I am wrong, when I come back on Monday morning and we do the recap of WrestleMania Night 2, I want you to tell me that I'm wrong. It's okay. I'm a big boy. All right. Mama Law raised a big boy, so I can take it on the chin. If you tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Look, people come into my comments all the time and say, you know what, you're wrong, and I disagree with you. You know what? I'm okay, and that's why I love pro wrestling. Because it's an art form. It's like when you go to the Museum of Modern Art. You can stay there and look at a picture. I'm like, that picture's ugly. But if somebody will walk over and be like, you know what, let me show you the beauty in the picture. So I may show you the beauty in this, and you may come back and be like, you know what, you were wrong. That's okay. I'm okay with that, and that's what I think makes this channel so good. But can Logan Paul hang with a ring general like AJ Styles? Yeah, 100%. 100%. You've seen him do it with Cody Rhodes, right? You've seen him do it with other people in the WWE. And one of the things that I was always taught by Bubba Ray Dudley is never work down to anybody, make them work up to you. And I don't think that anybody is in that ring working down to Logan Paul to make him look good. If Logan Paul can't work up to the likes of Cody Rhodes or any one of those big name wrestlers, he doesn't belong there. He belongs. Will AJ Styles still will Logan Paul show the world why he still belongs in wrestling? Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. And could Logan Paul actually pull off the biggest win of his career? I don't know. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the predictions, but I'm going to give you my hot take first. Ready for my hot take in this match? Logan Paul will main event WrestleMania 42 for the WWE Championship. Look, bookmark this episode. Come back to this episode in a year from now. You're going to be like, maybe this guy's a little bit crazy. But remember, you heard it here first. Logan Paul is going to main event WrestleMania 42 for the WWE Championship next year. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to work my way down through this into when we talk about the next match. I'm going to reveal why. A lot of guys, the men's roster, why the mid-card people are going to need to step it up because there's something that's happening in the WWE. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, keep it locked right here. Who wins that match? Logan Paul, AJ Styles? Logan Paul, hands down. I think that Logan Paul needs to win a lot more because he can walk around being super braggadocious. So you know what? Let AJ Styles beat him later on down the line. But for right now, I want Logan Paul to walk around to be that cocky SOB and say, you know what? Not only did I beat AJ Styles, but I beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania. You can't argue with that. Is this a show stealer? I think this could be one of the matches of the night. Yep, this is going to be one of the matches that we could talk about on Monday morning, and I'm going to be like, damn. All I'm going to do is, if I remember, when we talk about that match, if this match was the match of the night, I'm just going to turn on the camera, and I'm just going to sit here for a half an hour and just look at you. I'm not going to do nothing. Okay, no, I'm not going to waste your time like that. But I should. But let's keep the chaos going. We got a fatal four-way Intercontinental Championship match, and one champion is standing in the way of three men looking to settle the score. I'm talking about Big Bron Breaker, the big bad booty daddy uncle, whatever. Penta, Finn Bálor, and Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Champion. There's so many different things going in here. But Bron has ran through all three challengers like White Castle. He's ran through all of them like White Castle. Finn, if you know what White Castle is, man, I apologize. Google it. Really good stuff. My mouth is watering. I don't eat beef anymore. But Finn Bálor and Dom are in thin ice. Judgment Day is splintering. The reason why I love what WWE is doing right now is because they're telling great stories. They're dropping the breadcrumbs for you. WWE's holding our hands right now, and they're taking us on a trail. And what they do is they drop the breadcrumb. And if you're not smart enough for paying attention to pick it up, you're going to miss the whole entire thing. The Judgment Day has been splintering for at least the past year. Ever since Rhea Ripley left, ever since Damian Priest left, they were the splinters in the wall. They were the cracks in the wall. And ever since that happened, now they're trying to figure out who's the leader. Can they bring in somebody else? And all this other malarkey that they could talk about. Aleister Black. Aleister Black's going to come back and he's going to join the Judgment Day. You don't believe me? And he's going to be the leader. You don't believe me? Just watch. Y'all think I'm crazy sometimes, but y'all gonna have to understand. Y'all gonna have to understand that sometimes I'm speaking the truth, even though it might sound crazy. In order for you to do it, sometimes you just gotta think crazy because you don't expect it. You know that Aleister Black is no longer with AEW, but nobody's talking about him, and that you've forgotten about him. And where else does he fit into the WWE? One of the things that WWE does is that they usually put partners, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, and whoever. They usually put everybody to work together on one brand. But what if they're different this time? Ace says that I've been saying Logan Paul is the best heel in the game. Yeah, in the WWE, he's one of the best heels. Because you know what? When you watch Logan Paul on YouTube, he's just being that same exact guy. And the best part is that because you watch it on YouTube, you don't know if it's a character or if it's not. You don't know. So, because what you're watching is just what they want you to see. So, is he that guy? I don't know. I guess you got to watch and find out. Thanks for the message, Ace. Ace said the pulverizer is crushing everyone. Yeah, I definitely agree. You got to watch out for Braun Breaker. So, So, Braun has run through everybody like White Castle. Finn and Dom are on thin ice. Judgment Day splintering. And Penta's undefeated single streak in the match is on the line. Will Penta win? I don't know. That's something we're going to have to talk about. The story in that match is power, experience, speed, and chaos. All that stuff is brewing inside of that pot, inside of that fatal four-way matches. And sometimes fatal four-way matches and triple threat matches, they suck. But the animosity that is going into this match, it just makes Braun, Bron, Penta, Finn Bálor, and Dominik Mysterio just a little bit more interesting because you know what? This is the workhorse title. Gunther held that belt and made that championship just a little bit more prestige. So now everybody's fighting for something that's just a little bit more than a belt. But look, will Judgment Day fall apart in the middle of the match? I'll tell you this. I don't think that Dominik Mysterio and Finn Bálor will be sitting at the same table on Thanksgiving. I think that after this match, that Finn Bálor is going to be off Dominik Mysterio's Christmas card list. I said it. Can Penta pull off that WrestleMania miracle? It's possible. And any given Sunday, the worst team in the NFL can beat the best team. I'm not saying that Penta is the worst, but you know what? He doesn't have that WWE experience. But what if he does? Everybody likes Penta, right? But the best part about this match is that Penta can still keep his undefeated streak intact if he doesn't win because they don't have to pin him. You see how I'm teaching you pro wrestling? I'm teaching you pro wrestling sometimes. And sometimes when you pay attention, I might teach you a little something. They can keep Penta's undefeated streak intact because, yeah, he lost, but you technically didn't pin him. So they can, instead of saying that he's undefeated, they can say, you know what, nobody's pinned him. Now, I was talking about in that last thing about Logan Paul, in that last segment, talking about Logan Paul main eventing WrestleMania 42. I'm going to tie it in with this question. Is Bron Breakker ready to lead the WWE's next generation? Now, why am I asking that? Why am I putting Bron Breakker in such a hot seat? Why am I letting Logan Paul win WrestleMania 42 next year? Simple. Roman Reigns said recently, I think it might have been yesterday or the day before, that he's only got about 2 years left in him. That when his contract is up, he might not re-sign. Okay, so we're not going to debate whether he re-signs or not, but if I was in the WWE and I was a mid-carder, I'd be working right now on polishing up my star so that when Roman Reigns is gone, Seth Rollins is going to be gone. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, we're all in the same exact age group. We're in the early 40, late 39 club, right? The late 30s club, right? CM Punk, how much longer can CM Punk go? Right? So those guys are going to have to step to the side because they're going to have to go do other things greater in the world of pro wrestling and let the new generation step up. Is Bron Breakker ready to lead that next generation? Do you see Bron Breakker as a future WWE champion? Maybe somebody headlining WrestleMania one day? Look, let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, there's just so much going on. So much going on. Who walks out as the IC champ? I say keep it on Braun. Keep it on Braun. Because I don't think that the Judgment Day needs the championship in there to settle a little bit of beef. But, you know, I wouldn't be too upset, too, if Dom Mysterio won that. Wouldn't be. Could this be Braun's WrestleMania moment? This match right here could be the match that defines Bron Breakker. This could be his Shawn Michaels winning the boyhood dream match. At least one of them. Something to take a look at here. All right, we got 3 matches down, but this one isn't just a championship match. This one is a shot at immortality. That one is this one about. Somebody's going to be walking out of Philly. Somebody's going to be walking out of Las Vegas, a legend, and one person is going to be walking out let down. They might need a visit on the therapist couch. And what I'm talking about is the main event between Cody Rhodes and John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. That's the match that everybody wanted me to talk about, right? Everybody said, make sure you talk about this match. Make sure you talk about this match. I'm going to talk about Cody Rhodes and John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. There's so much to pack in here as well, too. But what I wanted to do is I want to remind you that I started a brand new series here on YouTube on this channel. It's called the Pro Wrestling Scorecard. The first episode is live now. What I do is I take some pro wrestlers and I rate them from a score of 1 to 10 in different things like mic skills, in-ring ability. So make sure you check that out once we are done here, because we're almost done. I hear him telling me, I hear him saying, go home, brother. Go home, brother. So we're almost at to go home right now. So between that storyline, right, we all know how it is. That's the most popular storyline in the WWE right now. John Cena shocks the world by winning the Elimination Chamber. He won the Elimination Chamber in a scummy way. The way that he won the Elimination Chamber is that he capitalized on Seth Rollins doing the curb stomp on, who was it, CM Punk, in order for him to win. And then he turned heel. He joined The Rock. He aligned with The Rock and Travis Scott on a brutal ambush on Cody, and Cena said he's done being a role model. It's all about legacy now. Let me tell you something about Travis Scott. I think it's unprofessional as a pro wrestler that they put Travis Scott in there to tee off on Cody Rhodes. The thing for me, that look, we all know that pro wrestling is a work. It's not a shoot. If you want shoot fighting, go watch boxing or UFC. But sometimes in pro wrestling, we might hit each other in the place and we might hurt each other and stuff like that. But I'm never telling anybody, you know what? You don't know how to punch because you're untrained. Just punch me in the face still. That's not happening. Now imagine, this whole entire WrestleMania main event could be a lot different, because what if Travis Scott came in and hurt the cash cow? The cash cow is Cody Rhodes. You have to admit, whether you like Cody Rhodes or not, Cody Rhodes is a cash cow. What if Travis Scott came in there and pushed in Cody Rhodes' eye and Cody can't wrestle? What if he went in there and chipped a tooth and gave Cody Rhodes a concussion and Cody Rhodes can't wrestle? I think that's reckless. And if I was Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes seems like a real nice guy, because he's like, don't worry about it. But let me tell you something. Cody Rhodes was raised by Dusty Rhodes and his brother, Dustin Rhodes, a.k.a. Goldust, a.k.a. it's a former wrestler. I mean, it's a wrestler right now in AEW. Cody Rhodes is not going to brother Travis Scott. He's probably saying, yeah, man, it's all good, brother. Don't worry about it. But I think if the opportunity presents itself, Cody Rhodes is going to knock Travis Scott out. He's going to knock Travis Scott out. But, oh, look, we have somebody in the chat. What are they saying? Hold on. Let's see what they say. We're going to... Yep. Oh, you see? As much as you want to do it, you don't exist anymore. Thanks so much for watching. Don't put nasty stuff in the chat. Cody Rhodes, though, he's the people's champion. And he's fighting for the future. The former people's champion, the champion of the people was John Cena. He's the one out there doing the hustle, loyalty, respect. But what's really important, the theme, this is the themes that I'm talking about now, that Cena is chasing that 17th title. That's away from him, that he can't get it. He can just retire, and he could have just never came back and went to Hollywood and say, you know what, I'm tied with one of the greatest in the game, Ric Flair. But you know what, John Cena wants that 17th world title, and I think that he's rewriting history while he's doing it. He's became really desperate to win that championship, and you know what? A lot of people didn't see John Cena going heel. But I seen John Cena getting desperate, man. He's getting desperate. Some of the things that I say, and it's like, okay, is Cody Rhodes built to survive this John Cena? I don't know. I don't think that this John Cena, this dark John Cena, is Roman Reigns. Look, even The Rock just feels a little bit more dangerous to me in this new incarnation, who he is. But like, if Cody comes out on the other side of this, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win. If Cody Rhodes, yep, Ace, I see Ace, what you said. Ace, I see you. That receipt is coming for Travis Scott. And let me tell you, that receipt is going to be long like a CVS receipt. But if Cody Rhodes comes out, I'm going to tell you who wins in a little bit. If Cody Rhodes comes out on this, it's going to be great for his career. This is going to be the battle scar that he needed, that you can say, you know what, he survived John Cena. He survived Roman Reigns. I think he's ready for The Rock now. But what happens if John Cena becomes the 17th-time world champion? Let me tell you what's going to happen. I don't even want to do that yet. I don't even want to answer that question yet. Because it's going to all tie into who's going to win. Will The Rock interfere again? I don't know. Where has The Rock been? He's just like Nia Jax. And speaking of Nia Jax, if anybody's found Nia Jax, she's missing, please contact Triple H at WWE HQ. The last time we seen her was March 1st, 2025 in Toronto, Canada, in the area of the Rogers Center. If you have seen Nia Jax anywhere, please let Triple H know, because we need to know where she is. Just like The Rock. Maybe it's a Samoan family thing, the Anoa'i family Samoan thing. Because where is Nia Jax? I don't know where Nia Jax is at. I don't know where The Rock is either. So will he interfere? You're going to have to watch WrestleMania to find him. But what do I think? I think yeah. The reason why I tell you yeah is because one of the things that I talked about is that Cody Rhodes doesn't have any friends, and The Rock is going to play dirty just to make sure that Cody Rhodes doesn't win, because Cody Rhodes disrespected The Rock's family at last year's WrestleMania. And he continues to disrespect The Rock's family by running around with the belt right now. But let me tell you what I'm going to see in that match. What happens if John Cena becomes the 17-time world champion by beating Cody Rhodes? I'm not ready to answer that yet. Hold on. Because I'm going to tell you who wins and how this works. I see John Cena winning. Okay, look. Look, the only reason I see John Cena winning is because John Cena, give him that 17th-time world champion. If he doesn't get that championship, when is he going to get it in the next year? We're talking about shoot-wise, right? Not in the storyline ways. But what would happen, the way I see that story going down, is that John Cena is not going to retire at the end of the year. John Cena is going to take that belt, and he's going to go home, and he's going to say, whenever anybody's ready to beat me, give me a call. Maybe he could stay past the next WrestleMania and then get a redemption match against, let Cody Rhodes get a redemption match next year WrestleMania. Maybe Cody Rhodes leaves, beaten, disheveled. You don't know what's going to happen with him. Cody Rhodes goes away and then comes back, wins the Royal Rumble or wins the Elimination Chamber, and then wins the whole entire thing and says, John Cena, I'm coming for you. And then John Cena's going to be like, bro, I beat you already last year. And see what happens. That could be the biggest story of what's going on. But look at it like this as well, too. What if Cody wins? So then what's next? Cody's going to need some help. And everybody that's been helping Cody Rhodes has a match at WrestleMania. Except for one. Randy Orton. Randy Orton already told him that he's coming for him. I talked about this whole entire thing a couple of episodes ago about how everybody that's ever helped Cody Rhodes is now at odds with each other. And I called Cody Rhodes toxic. I said that Cody Rhodes was toxic. So when you're looking at this whole entire thing now, Randy Orton knows what he wants. Randy Orton had to get put through a table by the Bloodline, by Jacob Fatu on his debut, just to help Cody finish the story. So you think that Travis Scott is owed a receipt by Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes got a receipt coming for him like a Walmart receipt and EBT just hit. That's how long that receipt is going to be. No offense to people on EBT. My mother was on EBT back in the day. That's how she raised 3 boys. She's not on it anymore. But either way, that's going to be the thing that nobody sees coming. Everybody's like, well, who's Randy Orton going to fight? Who's Randy Orton going to fight at WrestleMania? Nobody. Because the biggest story coming out if Cody Rhodes wins is that Randy Orton held up his hand because they won and RKO's God, it's what time is it in the morning? It's 11:13. I'm going to say one cuss word. When Cody Rhodes holds up the hand of gets his hand held up by Randy Orton, and Randy Orton RKO's the shit out of him right in the middle of the ring, and then walks out, looks at the championship, and then walks out at WrestleMania 41. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. I think though, win, lose, or draw, this match is going to be one. This match could be the moment of the night. It's going to be the match that all of us are going to be talking about for years and years to come. But like I said, night 2 is locked and loaded. Legends could fall, champions could rise, and your favorites might not make it outstanding. What's one match, though, that are you most hyped for in WrestleMania Night 2? I asked earlier in the episode, does it matter that WrestleMania is earlier this year? This is actually the latest WrestleMania ever. The earliest WrestleMania was WrestleMania 20 in Madison Square Garden. I don't know. I made a YouTube short about it. Check out my YouTube shorts as well, too. I love doing YouTube shorts. I started this little claymation thing. Stop. But 100% of people said no, it doesn't bother them. It doesn't really bother me either, right? WWE, I think they did a really good job positioning themselves to where they're the only people to be talked about on the weekend. Imagine Monday morning you could talk about every other thing that's happening in entertainment, but you don't have time to talk about the WWE. No, it's a little bit of selfishness. Give the WWE the opportunity to be talked about on Monday morning, and nobody else can be talked about. No PGA World Tour, no Super Bowls, no March Madness, none of that. We're not talking about that on Monday because the only thing we're going to be talking about is WrestleMania. And I'll be talking about WrestleMania Night 2 on Monday. Let me know what match you're most hyped for WrestleMania 2. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Tristan Law, and this is the Tristan Law Show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Like I said before, God, I meant to give you this message before. Hold on, my bad, bruh. My bad, bruh, and sis. I meant to tell you, I said this at the end of last episode. WrestleMania time is such a great time, and I'm glad that we're all here, hopefully on 2 feet on our own free will, that we can be here and watch WrestleMania. It's such a great time. It's exciting. Spend it with your friends and your family. I'm going to be able to watch it. I'm going to be on social media as well, too. If you want to know what I think, I want you to send me an email. I actually got an email from somebody the other day, and it was a real nice email. It's my first fan mail, I guess. I don't want to say fan mail because I don't want to degrade anybody, but it's the first email I've ever gotten from the community, somebody in this community before. And I appreciate your emails. I won't click any links, but if you ever want to send me an email, it's tristanlawshowmedia@gmail.com. That's what I think it is, tristanlawshowmedia@gmail.com. If not, you can find it in the about section of the YouTube channel. Send me an email. Let me know what you think sometimes. Let me know if the show sucked. Let me know if the show was good. Let me know what you want to see. That one person said that I don't want to shout him out. You know what? Fine. I think it was Ace. I gotta check the email. It might have been Ace. But he told me stuff that he wanted to see, stuff that, so tell me what you want to see. Because like I said, this isn't one way. This isn't you listening to the radio. You get the opportunity where you get to interact with me and you got a voice that matters. It's WrestleMania weekend. Bring somebody that matters to you to watch WrestleMania with you, and hopefully they're not a fan, and hopefully by the end they become a fan and they can't stop talking about it. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Tristan, and this is the Tristan Law Show. If you like what I did today, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back on Sunday morning for the WrestleMania Night 1 recap. I'll be back on Monday morning for the WrestleMania Night 2 recap. I'll be back on Tuesday morning for the Raw after WrestleMania recap. And then there's just so much more coming in. But enjoy what we're doing this weekend. It's a proud time to be a wrestling fan. And don't let anybody tell you that it's fake. Enjoy it. I'm Tristan Law, the Tristan Law Show. I'll see you next time.
Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive, nothing in sight, forever in flight, follow those lines, we'll make it this time, blurry street lights.